Hey guys, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about the coronavirus, but not quite in the way you think. Now, I don't have to go through the logistics of the coronavirus right now. We have over 137,000 cases worldwide right now that have been confirmed, and basically all the experts say there's way more than that, and more is yet to come. You know, we have seen a lot of nations, including Italy, that has locked itself down, which we'll be getting to, Norway, and just today, the United States, President Trump declared a state of emergency. But what we are talking about specifically with the coronavirus isn't necessarily the health or public response to this, although I have to say many local supermarkets by me are a complete wasteland when it comes to things like toilet paper. And so people are indeed panicking, or at least starting to hoard, and that is not a good sign, especially in a pandemic. We are actually going to be talking about the internet because we are seeing a bit of a microcosm going on in Italy with its population of 60 million. And how the internet is now being strained as they basically have quarantined the entire nation. Now, as of today, and I am looking at these numbers, there are 15,113 confirmed cases in the country of Italy of coronavirus, and that number will continue to increase as it will worldwide here in the United States. But by virtue of that, something interesting is happening, and that is that the internet is starting to strain. With everybody home, they are turning to the internet to do things like, stream, and specifically in Italy's case, they have seen a massive surge in people playing both Fortnite and Call of Duty, especially since the kids are home from school. Now, we usually have some interesting cycle in the internet when people are at work or at school and they come home. And so we see usually throughout the day surges of internet traffic, but now that people are basically stuck inside, the internet tends to be the only way that they're going to be, doing something or hanging out. A lot of us don't have volumes and volumes of movies or, a huge amount of anything else like on DVD or Blu-ray. We go to the internet and we use these services or we play games. And by virtue of that, we are going to start to see a strain. Now, according to Telecom Italia's chief executive officer, Luigi Giubitosi, he said on a conference call, as reported by Bloomberg, and I quote, "We reported an increase of more than 70% of internet traffic over our landline network with big contribution from online gamings such as Fortnite." Now, the reason why this is important, and okay, your kids are home from school and you've got to work, let's say remotely, and so they're going to go online and they're going to play games or stream or whatever that is that the internet is for many a utility. It is the way that we get information. It is the way that we communicate with the outside world. And if that infrastructure is strained or goes down, it is very hard to do things like conduct business or even have things like hospitals and medical professionals collaborate in a crisis if pockets of the internet are going out, down, or just strained to the point where it's slowing everybody down to a crawl. We've seen other technology thrown at the coronavirus, including supercomputers, artificial intelligence models being used to try to figure out a cure or a way to stop this. But as the internet continues to strain and continues to get hit, and as we continue to quarantine around the globe, the internet is really going to be put to the test in a way that it never has before. Not to mention the fact that if we have a lot of people being quarantined, that's also going to include the IT and infrastructure professionals that actually keep the internet running. And so how is that going to work if we start to have physical outages or overloads? Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is going to happen. The internet tends to be fairly robust, and a lot of countries have a lot of infrastructure, from Estonia, which is small but has built up quite a bit, to countries like the United States, though some areas have a lot more infrastructure than others. And so I think it's going to be a good test. I'd love to hear predictions on this, but it's something that we're not really talking about. And I think it's important because as we are doing things like hoarding toilet paper for some, reason, and I understand people are really going to need it, at some point, we're going a little overboard. We're not really talking about, how we could possibly hoard the internet or what happens if we have a grid shutdown, if you will, of the internet when we are trying to, let's say, have critical services and communications, go back and forth, and everybody playing Fortnite and watching Netflix is knocking it out. So I think it's an important discussion to have, especially as we have a growing pandemic here. And so I'd love to hear thoughts on that. And so that is your wonderful Friday news of the day, and I hope all of you guys are healthy. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.